Hey, welcome. So, we're going to tackle a massive question that I know is on every advertiser's mind. How do you make sure every single dollar you spend on ads is actually working for you? We're diving deep into the world of retargeting, and I'm going to break down the exact techniques you need to turn those window shoppers into actual customers and, really boost that ROI for 2025. I mean, think about it for a second. You do all the hard work, right? You get someone to land on your website. They're clicking around, maybe they're looking at a product or reading a blog post, and then just gone, vanished. It's got to be one of the biggest frustrations in digital marketing. The real question is, how do you get them to come back? Well, this is where retargeting comes into play. It's basically your secret weapon. Using a really simple piece of code, you've heard of cookies or pixels, you can gently remind those visitors about your brand while they're just browsing around the rest of the internet. It's kind of like a friendly digital tap on the shoulder saying, "Hey, remember us? You like this thing?" Okay, let's get into this because there's a super common mix-up here that honestly trips a lot of people up. And if we're going to do this right, we need to be crystal clear on what we're actually talking about. So you'll hear people use retargeting and remarketing like they're the same thing, but they're really not. Retargeting, that uses paid ads on places like Google and Facebook to bring back potential new customers, people who just visited your site. Remarketing, on the other hand, usually means using email to re-engage people who are already customers. So here's the simplest way to remember it. Retargeting is all about acquisition, and remarketing is for retention. All right, so now we're on the same page about what retargeting is. How do we actually do it well? The biggest mistake I see is people treating every single visitor exactly the same. The key to a high ROI is getting really, really specific with your targeting. It's not about blasting your ad to everyone who ever visited. It's about showing the right ad to the right person at the right time. And the foundation for any killer retargeting campaign is this one simple idea. You have to stratify your traffic. Don't worry, it sounds complicated, but it's not. It just means instead of having one giant audience, you create smaller, much smarter groups based on what they actually did on your site. Let's break down what that really looks like. So how do we do that? It's all about figuring out their intent. First, look at the pages they visited. Someone who checked out your pricing page is way more interested than someone who just bounced after one blog post, right? Second, measure how long they were on your site. A longer visit usually signals more interest. And third, and this is the big one, track those key actions. Did they add an item to their cart? That is the absolute strongest signal you can get. Grouping your users like this is what makes your ads feel super relevant. And once you've made these smart little audience segments, you get to unlock your real superpower, personalization. This, right here, is what separates an ad that just gets scrolled past from an ad that actually gets someone to click. And the most powerful version of this is called dynamic retargeting. So instead of showing a generic brand ad, you can automatically show someone an ad with the exact product they were just looking at. And the best part? Platforms like Google and Facebook make this so easy to set up with their dynamic product ads. They literally just pull from your product catalog. Okay, here is a perfect real-world example of how this all works together. So imagine someone leaves a specific pair of shoes in their cart. Your ad doesn't just show them the shoes again. No. It shows them the shoes, but it sweetens the deal with a 10% off coupon and throws in a great customer review. See what happened there? That one ad hits their intent, it tackles their potential price concerns, and it builds trust. That is how you close a sale. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a ton of manual work. But here in 2025, you have an incredibly powerful assistant on your side. AI and machine learning can now pretty much automate and optimize this entire process for you. The major platforms have built tools specifically for this. Google has its Performance Max, and Facebook has Advantage Plus. They both use AI to analyze all that user behavior, predict who's most likely to buy, and then automatically show them the perfect ad at the perfect time. It's really about letting the machine find all the patterns so you can stay focused on the big picture strategy. Okay, so we know who to target and what to show them. But the next massive questions are, where do we show these ads? And maybe more importantly, how often? Because let's be real, there's a very fine line between being a helpful reminder and just being an annoying pest. When it comes to platforms, the two giants are still, you guessed it, Google and Facebook. Google gives you this insane reach across its display network, so you can catch people while they're browsing millions of other websites. Facebook and Instagram, on the other hand, are perfect for that social context and engagement. Honestly, for most businesses, the best move isn't picking one or the other. It's using both to get the best of both worlds. This is such a critical question. We have all been there, right? You feel like you're being stalked across the internet by an ad for something you looked at one time. That's called ad fatigue. And it doesn't just annoy people, it completely torches your ad budget. So, what's the magic number? Well, the sweet spot, the Goldilocks zone, is showing your ad to the same person about 3 to 5 times a week. Any more than that, and you start to get really annoying. Any less, and they'll probably forget about you. And you can actually set what's called a frequency cap right in your campaign settings to make sure this happens automatically. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important principle. Retargeting is not a set it and forget it kind of thing. The absolute best campaigns are like living, breathing organisms that you are constantly tweaking and refining. So, what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it means you are constantly A/B testing, trying out different images, different headlines, different calls to action, just to see what works best. It means you are watching your key metrics like a hawk, your click-through rate, your conversion rate, your cost for acquisition. And based on all that data, you're always refining your audiences, cutting out the segments that aren't performing and putting more money behind the ones that are. Wow, we have covered a lot of ground, from the big strategy stuff all the way down to the nitty-gritty tactics. So let's pull all of this together into one simple, actionable checklist that you can use to improve your own campaigns, like right now. Here it is, the whole game plan. 1. Segment your audience based on their intent. 2. Use dynamic ads to show them the stuff they already love. 3. Personalize your message with special offers and social proof. 4. Control your ad frequency so you don't annoy people. 5. Always be A/B testing your creative. And 6. Constantly monitor your data and adjust your targeting. If you can check these 6 boxes, trust me, you are well on your way to building a seriously profitable retargeting machine. So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. Just think about your website visitors for a second. Who is your most valuable, highest intent group? Is it the people who abandoned their carts? Is it the folks who viewed your pricing page? What is the one segment you could start retargeting today with a really personalized message that would make the biggest, most immediate impact on your business? Thanks for tuning in.